Hello everybody and welcome back to Teachers Talk Money, where I help teachers master their money in order to give back to themselves. Thank you for joining me here today for my net worth update for January 2022, my first net worth update of the year. It was so wonderful to take a little bit of time and check in on my own finances. As you all know, if you watched my video about education feeling like a sinking ship right now, I am really trying to take things day by day, so it was really nice to do something for myself in this crazy time and take a look at my numbers, which is a ritual I love doing every month. So let's take a look at all of my individual accounts and see what they total up to for my net worth for the first month of 2022. We'll get started by going through my investment accounts, starting with my Roth IRA. This is currently valued at $17,763 for a small change of $55. So far for 2022, I've not contributed anything to my Roth IRA. I'm waiting on getting tax refunds and my stipends, and those are what I use to fund this retirement account. So that $55 increase was entirely passive income. So not a whole lot of passive income gained, but certainly better than losing money passively in the market, so I will take it. Then we have my 457B, or in other words, my retirement plan that is through my employer. This is currently valued at $17,281, so actually the amounts in my Roth IRA and my 457B are almost equal. And this is increased by $1,022 from last month. Of that amount, $952 were actively contributed by me from my paychecks, which means that it earned $70 in interest. So again, not a crazy amount of interest gained here, but like I said, always better than losing money. Now we'll go ahead and talk about my pension. As I explained in every net worth update, I only track the contributions to my pension because at this point, if I were to leave my district, I would only be able to withdraw the contributions, not any of the interest. When I have taught for 10 years, when I reach that 10-year mark, that's when I can withdraw the interest, and that is when I will start actually counting the interest in my net worth updates. So this grew by $418 because I contributed $418 from both my paychecks that I am counting in this net worth update. I also have a supplemental pension that only updates once per year, so it's at $798 as of this past June, and I'll update that in my net worth when it updates again in summer 2022. Which brings me to my savings accounts. The first one we're going to go through today is my emergency fund, which is valued at $5,046 for a change of $2 in interest. This never grows too much month to month. It is in a high yield savings account, but as you all probably know, high yield savings accounts aren't really pooling numbers lately. However, as always, I'm just really grateful that I haven't had to actually tap into my emergency fund for anything, and it is sitting there and ready for me to use should I ever need to. And then we have all of my other savings. So these are my sinking funds for travel, for education, for gifts, for Hattie, and all of that beautiful stuff. And these currently total $4,504, which is up last month by $355. These savings accounts really fluctuate a lot because as I am depositing money, once I get my paychecks, I'm also withdrawing money to actually spend on certain things within those categories like travel or gifts or all of that stuff. So let's take a look at all of the totals together. When you add everything up, you can see that my net worth now amounts to $58,095. So we're getting really close to that 60K mark. Should I be able to grow it by about $2,000 next month, we will see 60K in February, which is really awesome. For this month alone, it grew $1,852, which is not too shabby either, especially considering it was a pretty mediocre month in the markets. This next slide is my totals year by year for my net worth, as I have been tracking it for over 3 years now. From 2020 to 2021, you can see that it grew by about $22,000, whereas from 2021 to 2022, it's grown by about $18,000. So not quite as much growth here, but that's kind of to be expected as it's mostly due to market fluctuations. And of course, we have to talk about my passive income. I do this year to date. So right now, this only includes passive income from this month, totaling $125 between my Roth IRA and my 457B. Now we can also take a look at my graph here to see sort of a visual of how my net worth has changed over time. And as you can see here, patterns are beginning to emerge. You can see small dips in my net worth or large dips in my net worth each and every summer when I take off of work, live off of my savings. And last summer I had a costly move as well as I purchased a used car. As you can see here, we've now finally surpassed the peak I hit right before my net worth started decreasing due to my choosing to take off over the summer. And as you can see, we're super close to the 60K mark, which is very exciting. It is typically in these first few months of the year that I make sort of the greatest increases in my net worth. And that is because I start doing my taxes, I start bringing in stipends for my year-long positions. So in this first half of the year, I'm expecting to see a lot of growth, followed by that decline for summer should I decide not to work, which I have some travel plans already this summer, so I'm thinking I probably will choose not to work again. I also sort of created a new feature on my net worth tracker page of my budget where I can look at my net worth composition and sort of what it is made up of in terms of savings and investments and sort of how it's distributed between those two categories. And the reason I want to do this is because I think it'll be interesting to see how my net worth changes when it is made up more heavily of investments than savings. So currently my net worth composition is about 60% investments and 40% savings. And interestingly, this has only changed slightly since 2020. I gathered these numbers in December of 2020. So about 1 year and 1 month ago. And they're very similar. It's almost 60-40, just a little bit of a slight change there. So I'm really fascinated to see throughout the years, like when we get to December 2022, how much this distribution has changed and whether or not that's affecting the rate of growth. Obviously, my hypothesis being that the more heavily invested I am, the higher the rate of growth over time. So stay tuned throughout the year so we can kind of keep checking in on this aspect of my net worth as well. And again, I think it's worth noting here that I am counting my pension as savings rather than investments, only because I'm not calculating that growth in my net worth at all until I'm vested. So that is my net worth for January 2022. We're at $58,000 about. I'm really excited to see how that shifts. I'm also in February going to see for the first time my salary increase, as I just got the paperwork approved for my plus 30 on the salary scale, and my district is giving us a small 1.5% cost of living adjustment. So with that salary increase comes an increase in the amount that I'll be contributing to my pension, which takes 7% out of my paycheck, and my 457B, which I have set to take 17% out of my paycheck. So those numbers will increase, and the amount that I will be taking home to actually spend or save will increase as well. And most likely that will affect my savings the most. So I hope you enjoyed this net worth update. Please stay tuned for next month's net worth update because I'm excited to see, how this new salary will impact the exact amounts that are being contributed into my pension and my 457B. I hope you all are hanging in there, and I hope you have an amazing week. I will see you in the next video. Bye!